So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're basically going to be detailing what is the best traffic source for OnlyFans growth or OnlyFans subscriber growth. And we're going to split this video into two sections. So the best free platforms, if you're just starting out as an OnlyFans model or agency, and then paid options once you're already seeing success on the OnlyFans platform. And the reason for that is because it is going to change based on the leverage that you hold. And you're either going to be in a position where your leverage is going to be time-based or resource-based. In this case, resource means money to invest. And in whichever place we hold the most leverage is where we're going to want to lean into. Now, before we dig into that, just an intro to myself. My name's Ollie. I've been in the online space for a number of years now, running multiple different businesses, including e-commerce stores, a successful six-figure SMMA, and now a successful OnlyFans management agency. And that's why you should feel comfortable consuming this information, because I'm either doing or have done what you're trying to do. And clearly I make YouTube content as well, so please subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you see more content of this style. Now, let's jump into the video. So we're going to start with free platforms. You're just starting out as an OnlyFans creator or model management agency, and you haven't been in the space for very long and you don't have the capital to boost your growth methods. Where are we going to start? Well, my favorite platform in this circumstance would definitely be TikTok, and that is just because of its growth potential. And that's basically because, number one, it's free, and the free growth and reach that you can get from just TikTok alone is absolutely incredible and is kind of unmatched to any other platform. And this is the perfect place to start if you have more time than money on your side. To start with, the kind of content that we want to post on TikTok is absolutely nothing explicit, but we can lean into slightly suggestive content. We definitely want to lead people towards the OF whilst keeping it as non-explicit as possible, so we avoid account bans. My second favorite platform for free growth is just going to be Instagram. Instagram is an incredibly powerful platform. And because we're looking at this from a standpoint of not having any capital, we're going to avoid things like bots, paid promotion and anything of that nature. And we're going to focus on manual methods of growing the account, which is obviously posting on the account regularly, using reels, and then sort of free black hat strategies like just follow on follow and interaction. The next platform that you want to look at is Twitter. Same thing again. You can get an incredible amount of organic growth just from Twitter. And the way in which you want to use this platform is as follows. You want to be posting as much as physically possible. Twitter is the only platform where you're not going to get penalized for posting too much. And you want to break the content that you post on Twitter into a few different sections. So you've got your tweets, and you just want to tweet multiple times a day about current topics and just general life updates. You then want to take your content from other platforms and post it onto Twitter. So it could be your Instagram posts, the reels that you're using on Instagram, and any things of that nature. With Twitter, we can be far more explicit with the content that we post on here. Now, that isn't to say you want to be posting extremely explicit content onto the Twitter page. From personal experience, this will only reduce the perceived value of your model's OnlyFans account or of your OnlyFans account in the mind of the viewer. So we don't want to have a bunch of free nudes basically all over Twitter. We want to try and keep it as non-explicit as possible. You've then got the tube method, which is when you use obviously certain tubing sites that I won't mention in this video because it's on YouTube. We're not looking to get the YouTube account banned, but if you look up the tube method, you'll see what that is. It's another great way of funneling through traffic to the OnlyFans account, so definitely check that out. It's not something that we personally use with most of our models at my agency, but it is definitely something that you can see success with. And then the final one for free methods is Shoutout for Shoutout. So go and find either models of a similar following or a similar percentage on OnlyFans and ask if they want to do Shoutout for Shoutout. It's a pretty simple process. The only thing I don't like about Shoutout for Shoutout, it's actually quite hard to track the individual progress from each individual shoutout. So there are my favorite free methods. Typically when we take on any new model, unless they're doing quite high numbers straight away, we will look to push free methods first, and we will usually look to push TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and really get these rolling before moving on to some of our other paid methods. And I really suggest that you, as a model or an agency owner, look at focusing on these ones first and mastering these ones first before drawing your attention to the other paid methods that I'm going to speak about. So let's look at paid methods. You're an OnlyFans model, or you're an agency working on behalf of an OnlyFans model, and you're already seeing success on the platform, and now you're starting to gain capital, and you're really looking to reinvest that capital into the OnlyFans account to make the most amount of money possible. Well, where are we going to look? Well, my favorite place to look is actually back on Instagram. Now, the Instagram platform for you is going to evolve when you start to introduce capital, and it's going to evolve in two ways. We're going to start to use two features of the platform to really grow the account. And the first one is Instagram bots. Instagram bots work incredibly well at interacting with your ideal customer. It's very easy to basically target down your ideal OnlyFans fan and basically interact with that group of people and push people over to the OnlyFans account on your behalf. And again, this isn't a manual thing that you have to do. So once it is set up, it's kind of just working in the background, and it is incredibly, incredibly powerful. The second place that we're going to look on Instagram is Instagram paid ads or Instagram boosted posts. Now, these actually work really, really well. And basically what you want to do is you want to find your winning pieces of content on Instagram. Potentially there will be a winning reel, or it will be a winning Instagram post. And we basically want to boost it with the intent of gaining more followers. And we've seen some incredible growth with some of our creators using this method. It is an expensive method, but it is a predictable way to generate new fans on a regular basis. And predictable revenue growth is just such a beautiful thing. It allows you to spend a certain amount of money on the account and get a pretty good idea of the return that you're going to get back from that investment. And typically in this industry, that's actually quite a difficult thing to do. Due to the nature of our sort of account growth strategies, it's difficult to make it incredibly predictable. So the next one we're going to look at in the paid section is dating apps. Now, dating apps work very, very well. It's a great way to start funneling traffic through to the OnlyFans account, but to do it at a really effective scale, it takes quite a lot of monetary investment. And there's basically two main ways to do it at scale, and that is either through a physical phone farm. And a physical phone farm is where you go out and you buy mobile phones, buy SIM cards, and you create multiple Tinder accounts or other dating app accounts across all of these mobile devices and run the accounts. Now, the positives of having a physical phone farm is that account bans are less. You still will come across quite a lot of account bans, but it is on a lower scale than other farm methods. And if you are local to the model that you work with, you can quite easily get these accounts verified and increase the power of them. The other way of doing this is an internet-based phone farm, and this is where you basically replicate the same process, but instead of using physical phones, you use softwares, and instead of using physical SIM cards, you use eSIMs. And this method is incredibly powerful. Volume-wise, you can create an obscene amount of accounts. However, the account bans are going to be on a much, much greater scale. I do feel as though this is a more powerful method in the long run if you're able to maintain the new account creation of the accounts, because you can just do it at a mass scale. And when you're comparing the two, it's kind of a cheaper option when you look at it, because you're not having to buy physical phones and physical SIM cards. Now, internet-based farms is something that at my agency we're starting to heavily invest in at the moment, because we're really starting to see success here. And I'm pretty convinced we're going to move away from our physical phone farms. Now, the very last method that we're going to look at on the paid section is something that I haven't used too much at my own agency. However, I know for a fact that you can see quite good success here, but it's going to be theme pages, whether that's on Instagram, whether it's on Twitter, and potentially you might even be able to find them on TikTok as well. But it's basically where you find accounts that have already built out a huge following around a certain theme. Obviously, the theme here is going to be centered around models, etc. Unless you have a specific niche that your model falls into, or you yourself as a model fall into. But you're basically going to find these pages with large followings that are in line with your model or yourself, and then you're going to basically get shouted out on these platforms and pay a premium to do so. And this is, again, another good way of bringing in traffic when you have money to spend. So there you have it, the best free and paid methods to grow your OnlyFans subscriber account. I would start with TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Once you have started to gain traction here and have started to build up income here, I would then move on to paid Instagram, both in the form of bots and paid promotion, and then start setting up phone farms. And that is how I would do it. That is how I have done it. And that is the process that we use for our models here at my agency. If you've got any questions related to this video, or you want to know any specifics about any of the topics that I have mentioned in this video, just leave a comment in this video and I'll get back to you. And if there's anything you want to see in future videos and you've got questions around certain areas, then please, again, just drop a comment on this video and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Before I go, just make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and like this video so that you see future videos that I make around these kind of topics.